7 signs the matrix of illusion is trapping your mind. There is a system designed to keep you asleep, to keep you distracted, to keep you chasing illusions while the truth sits right in front of you, hidden in plain sight. This system is what many call the matrix, a web of deception that conditions you from birth to accept a limited reality, to believe in false narratives, to operate within an invisible prison where your thoughts, emotions, and desires are not truly your own. Most people will go through their entire lives never realizing they are trapped. They will wake up, go to work, consume entertainment, chase money, seek validation, and fall asleep repeating the cycle endlessly, never questioning why they feel empty, why they feel lost, why something deep inside of them whispers that there is more. But you are here because you can feel it. You know there is more, and that is the first step to breaking free. The matrix is not just about governments, corporations, or media. It is a state of mind, a carefully crafted illusion that convinces you to doubt your own intuition, to silence your inner voice, to follow the crowd even when something inside you screams that the crowd is walking off a cliff. It is a system that rewards obedience and punishes independent thought. It makes you believe that your worth is tied to external achievements, that happiness comes from material success, that you must conform to be accepted. And the most dangerous part, it is so deeply ingrained that most do not even realize they are enslaved. They defend their own chains. They ridicule those who question reality. They become willing participants in their own mental imprisonment.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But if you are watching this, then you are different. Something in you is waking up. Something in you refuses to accept the surface-level explanations, the scripted narratives, the artificial distractions. You are beginning to see the cracks in the illusion, and that is how it starts. The first sign that the matrix is trapping your mind is that you feel an unexplainable emptiness, even when you have everything society tells you should make you happy. You could have the job, the relationship, the money, the status, but deep inside, something still feels missing. That is because the matrix is designed to keep you chasing, to keep you thinking that the next achievement, the next purchase, the next milestone will bring fulfillment. But it never does. Because true fulfillment cannot be given to you by a system designed to keep you dependent. It can only be found when you step outside of the illusion and reconnect with something real yourself. The second sign is that you feel out of place, like you do not belong in this world. And let me tell you something, you don't. Not in the way they want you to. If you have ever looked around and thought, why does everything feel so fake? Why do people follow these rules without question? Why does society feel like a scripted play where everyone is playing a role instead of being themselves? Then you are already seeing through the illusion. The matrix conditions people to live on autopilot, to accept the status quo, to never question why things are the way they are. But the moment you start questioning, the illusion begins to crumble. And that is where things get dangerous. Because the matrix does not want you to wake up. It will do everything in its power to pull you back into the dream. The third sign that the matrix is trapping your mind is that you constantly feel overwhelmed, anxious, and mentally exhausted, but you can't figure out why. This is not an accident. The system is designed to keep you distracted, overstimulated, and drained. Think about it. Why is there always some new crisis, some new drama, some new reason to stay glued to the news, to social media, to endless scrolling? Because if you are constantly reacting to external chaos, you will never have the time or energy to look within. You will never have the clarity to ask the questions that truly matter. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my true purpose? Instead, you will be stuck in survival mode, too exhausted to break free, too consumed by the noise to hear your own soul. But here is where things get even deeper. The fourth sign is one that most people ignore. You feel resistance every time you try to change, to grow, to break free. Have you ever noticed that when you try to step outside of the norm, when you try to think differently, when you start questioning the system, everything seems to push back against you? People call you crazy. Situations seem to go wrong. Fear creeps in, whispering that you should just stay where it is safe, where it is comfortable. That is not a coincidence. The Matrix does not want you to wake up. It will use fear, doubt, and external pressure to keep you in line. But the fact that you feel that resistance means you are on the right path, because growth is always met with opposition. Freedom is always met with fear. And that fear is not yours, it is the illusion fighting to keep you trapped. So I ask you, have you ever felt like something is off? Like the world around you is not what it seems? Have you ever felt like you were meant for something more, but you can't quite figure out what? If so, then you are already waking up, and once you start waking up, the illusion can no longer control you. But the journey is just beginning, because knowing you are trapped is one thing, escaping is another. The war for your mind, how the Matrix keeps you distracted, disconnected, and dependent. If you have started to wake up, you have already taken the first step toward breaking free from the Matrix. But here is where most people fail. They underestimate how deeply they have been programmed. They think awareness alone is enough, but it is not. Because the Matrix does not just trap you with distractions, it traps you with identity, with belief, with fear. It convinces you that you are your thoughts, that you are your emotions, that you are the version of yourself that was shaped by society, by culture, by external expectations. And if you never question that identity, if you never strip away the layers of conditioning, you will remain a prisoner, even if you think you are free. This is how the Matrix keeps you trapped, by making you believe that you are already awake when you are not. It gives you the illusion of choice, the illusion of freedom, the illusion that you are in control. You can choose your career, your entertainment, your lifestyle, but within a predefined system. A system where the options have already been selected for you, where the boundaries have already been set, where every path still leads back to the same outcome: dependency. Dependency on money, dependency on validation, dependency on a system that decides what success looks like, what happiness looks like, what reality itself looks like. And as long as you play within those boundaries, you will never realize that the game itself is the problem. One of the most powerful ways the Matrix keeps you enslaved is through constant distraction. Have you noticed how difficult it is to sit in silence? To be alone with your own thoughts, to exist without reaching for your phone, for entertainment, for something to occupy your mind? That is not an accident. The system is designed to keep you overstimulated, to keep your attention fragmented, to make sure you never go deep enough within yourself to ask the real questions. Because the moment you do, the illusion begins to break. The moment you step away from the artificial urgency of modern life, you begin to hear something else, your own intuition. And the Matrix cannot allow that to happen, because the moment you reconnect with yourself, you become uncontrollable. I think about it, why is everything in this world designed to keep you looking outside of yourself? Why is success measured by external achievements? Why is happiness tied to external circumstances? Why are we taught to seek love, validation, meaning from things outside of us rather than within us? Because the moment you realize that everything you seek is already within you, the system loses its power over you. You no longer chase what they want you to chase. You no longer fear what they want you to fear. You step outside of the illusion and begin creating your own reality. And that is the greatest threat to the Matrix, a mind that is truly free. This is why the system does not just distract you, it actively conditions you to doubt yourself. From the time you are a child, you are taught to trust authority over intuition, to follow rules instead of questioning them, to prioritize logic over instinct. You are trained to ignore the deep knowing within you, to second-guess your own truth, to believe that the answers are always somewhere outside of you. And as long as you believe that, you will never realize that the key to escaping the matrix was never external, it was always within you. But here is where it gets even deeper. The matrix does not just program individuals, it programs entire societies. It creates belief systems that shape the way the masses think, act, and perceive reality. It tells you what is possible and what is not. It defines success, failure, morality, identity. It dictates what is normal and what is crazy. And if you dare to think outside of those definitions, if you dare to question the script, you will be labeled as an outsider, as a threat, as someone who needs to be corrected or silenced. Because the greatest danger to the system is not violence, not rebellion, not protest. It is independent thought. And this is why so many people, even those who sense something is wrong, choose to stay asleep. Because waking up means letting go of everything you thought was real. It means questioning your beliefs, your assumptions, your identity itself. It means stepping into the unknown, into a reality that is not handed to you, but one that you must discover for yourself. And that is terrifying. That is why most people choose comfort over truth. That is why they ridicule those who see beyond the illusion. Because it is easier to stay asleep than to face the unsettling reality that everything you thought you knew was a lie. So I ask you, are you willing to question everything? Are you willing to let go of the version of yourself that was created by the matrix so you can become who you were truly meant to be? Because that is what it takes. Escaping the illusion is not about learning new information, it is about unlearning everything that is not truly you. It is about stripping away the programming, the conditioning, the false narratives, until all that remains is truth. And the truth is this: you were never meant to be a prisoner. You were never meant to be controlled. You were never meant to live inside someone else's reality. You are here to create your own. But the question is, will you choose to wake up? Or will you go back to sleep? Breaking the chains, how to escape the matrix and reclaim your mind. Waking up is not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning. The moment you realize that the world you believed in was an illusion, you stand at a crossroads. You can either retreat back into the comfort of the familiar, pretending you never saw the cracks in the system, or you can step forward into the unknown, dismantling every false belief, every programmed thought, every conditioned fear that has kept you trapped. But make no mistake, escaping the matrix is not easy. Because the matrix is not just an external system, it is a prison of the mind. And until you unlearn everything you were conditioned to believe, you will never be truly free. The first step is to recognize that freedom begins within. Most people make the mistake of thinking that escaping the matrix is about rejecting society, quitting their job, or moving off the grid. But physical escape means nothing if your mind is still enslaved. You can leave the system physically, but if your thoughts, emotions, and desires are still controlled by fear, by validation, by external expectations, then you have not truly escaped. Because true liberation is not about running away, it is about seeing through the illusion and no longer being controlled by it. You must become untouchable, not in the sense that you avoid the world, but in the sense that the world no longer dictates who you are. And that requires a level of self-awareness that most people never reach. You must begin questioning everything, not just society, not just authority, but yourself. Why do you think the way you do? Why do you react the way you do? How much of your identity is truly yours, and how much of it was given to you? Were you taught to believe in your own power, or were you taught to doubt yourself? Were you conditioned to trust your intuition, or were you trained to silence it? This is where the real battle takes place, not in the external world, but within your own mind. Because the matrix does not control you through force, it controls you through belief. And as long as you accept its version of reality, You will remain trapped even if you think you are free. The second step is detachment. The reason the matrix has so much power over people is that they are emotionally invested in it. They care about its definitions of success. They fear its consequences. They crave its rewards. But the moment you detach, you become untouchable. If money does not define you, the system cannot control you through financial fear. If validation does not define you, society cannot manipulate you through rejection. If comfort does not define you, you are no longer afraid of stepping into the unknown. Detachment is not about apathy, it is about reclaiming your power. It is about realizing that nothing outside of you can define you, control you, or complete you. And the moment you truly internalize that, the matrix loses its grip on you. But here is the truth: most people do not want to hear freedom comes with responsibility. When you are asleep, you can blame the system. You can blame society. You can blame external forces for your unhappiness, your limitations, your struggles. But when you wake up, when you truly break free, you realize that everything is in your hands. You are no longer a victim. You are no longer at the mercy of the world. You are the creator of your own reality. And that is both terrifying and liberating. Because now there is no one left to blame. There are no more excuses. There is only you and the truth. And the truth is that you have always had the power. You were just conditioned to forget. So I ask you, are you ready to remember? Are you ready to take full control of your own mind, your own energy, your own existence? Because that is what it takes. Escaping the matrix is not a one-time event, it is a daily practice. It is a commitment to thinking for yourself, to questioning everything, to refusing to be controlled by fear, by validation, by external expectations. It is about stepping into your own power, not just intellectually but energetically, spiritually, in every aspect of your being. And once you do that, once you truly reclaim your mind, the matrix can no longer touch you. Because you are no longer playing by its rules, you have created your own. The final awakening, becoming the architect of your own reality. Once you have seen through the illusion, once you have detached from the false narratives that have shaped your mind, there is only one step left: becoming the creator of your own reality. Most people do not understand what this truly means. They think of freedom as simply rejecting the system, breaking away from the norm, refusing to conform. But true freedom is not about opposition, it is about creation. Because if you spend your life fighting against the matrix, you are still playing its game. You are still defining yourself in relation to it. Real freedom is when the matrix no longer defines you at all. It becomes irrelevant. You no longer live in reaction to it. You transcend it. And that is where true power begins. The greatest trick the matrix ever played was convincing people that reality is something external, something fixed, something that they must navigate rather than shape. But here is the truth: you are not just a player in this game. You are the programmer. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy, these are the codes that shape your experience. Everything you perceive, everything you encounter, everything you attract is a reflection of the internal reality you have accepted as true. And the reason the matrix has so much control over people is that it programs them to believe in limitation. It tells them that they are powerless, that they must work within the system, that they must operate by the rules that have been set for them. But the moment you realize that those rules are nothing but illusions, the moment you understand that reality itself is fluid, shaped by consciousness, you step into a level of power that most people cannot even comprehend. But here is where most people fail. They wake up, they see the illusion, but they do not replace it with something higher. They reject the matrix, but they do not create their own reality. And so they remain stuck in a limbo, aware that the system is a lie, but unsure of what to do next. That is not true liberation. True liberation is when you take full control of your mind, your energy, your existence, and begin shaping the world from the inside out. It is when you no longer look to external systems for validation, direction, or meaning, but instead create your own path, your own rules, your own reality based on your highest truth. And this is where the journey becomes truly profound. Because once you reach this level, you realize that the external world is nothing more than a reflection of the internal, that the matrix does not exist out there, it exists within you. Every fear, every limitation, every belief that keeps you small is a part of the illusion that must be dismantled. And when you do that, when you rewrite the code of your own mind, you do not just escape the matrix, you transcend it. You become the architect of your own existence. You step into a state of being where you are no longer controlled by external forces, where your energy is no longer dictated by circumstances, where you move through life with a sense of clarity, purpose, and power that cannot be shaken. So now the question is not just whether you can escape the matrix. The question is, what will you create once you do? Because that is the final step. Not just waking up, but rising up. Not just seeing the illusion, but building something greater. You have the power to shape your reality, to live on your own terms, to create a life that is not dictated by fear, by control, by external expectation. But only if you are willing to take full responsibility for your own existence. Only if you are willing to step into the unknown and trust yourself fully. Because once you do that, once you truly reclaim your power, the matrix is no longer something to escape. It is something you leave behind entirely. And that is when you become truly free.